Nobody having any idea about hydrothermal energy? Okay, so we will
Like
discuss. हाँ बोलो बेटे बोलो. है कोई आइडिया आप लोगों को? कल ही तो बताया था आप लोगों को. देखो दो रीजन होते हैं. Either you are not taking understand the subject, number one, or you are not able to understand whatever is being taught to you. There are only two reasons. ठीक है ना? तो कोई ना कोई एक रीजन तो यहाँ पे prominent है, that you are not able to understand it and you are able to explain it also.
सर
Still,
हाइड्रोथर्मल मतलब जो वाटर और हीट की मदद से जो एनर्जी एक्सट्रैक्ट हो.
exactly. Actually, when we make a drill or dig onto the earth's surface and we move towards the core of the earth, then after some time you find that the temperature of the earth is high, and when we reach to the core of the earth, then it is estimated the temperature is more than 4000 degrees centigrade. Okay, so earth is porous and water which flows on top surface of the earth, that also reaches to the underground, and when it comes in contact with the hot rocks, then energy is transferred to it, heat energy transferred to the water, underground water, and either it is heated or it is converted to steam. So the form of energy, that means the heated water and steam which is available within the earth, if it is taken out and it is utilized for generation of the energy, that energy is known as hydrothermal. So we are going to discuss in detail in the hydrothermal energy. So first of all, we will see the figure which we saw in the previous lecture also. Here is the magma which is lying at the core of the earth. Magma is having very high temperature and heat emanates from it, and through various modes of conduction, convection and radiation or heat transfer, it reaches to the surrounding adjacent rocks. And since the earth is porous, and when cold water enters into this underground and it comes in contact with the heated rock, which is porous, then there are two chances that either the temperature of this cold water is raised, that means it becomes very hot water, or sometimes steam is also formed. So if we drill a well in this for extracting this hot water and steam available underground, then it could be used for generation of the energy or electricity. So this is the simplified structure line diagram of the hydrothermal source, which shows that how it receives the heat from the magma and how the water is converted into steam or hot water, and then it is extracted or taken out to the earth's surface and it can be used for generation of the energy. Okay. So hydrothermal resources occur when underground water has access to high temperature porous rocks. Water is trapped in the underground reservoir and is heated by surrounding rocks. Okay. Heat is supplied by magma by upward conduction through solid rocks below the reservoir. Thus, it forms a giant underground boiler, a kind of underground boiler. Under high pressure, the temperature can reach as high as 350 degrees centigrade. But it is not necessary that all the underground water is having that much temperature. Sometimes the temperature may be of the order of 15 to 20 degrees centigrade, and sometimes it may be order of this 350 degrees centigrade. Okay. The hydrothermal resources are located at shallow to moderate depths. Shallow means around 100 millimeters from the surface or crust of the earth, and moderate depth, that means 4.5 kilometer or 4,500 meter. Temperatures for hydrothermal reserves used for electricity generation range from 90 degree to 350 degrees centigrade. As I told you yesterday, that if temperature of the water which is available underground is less than this 90 degrees centigrade, then it is not suitable for generation of the electricity. But whenever it is more than this 90 degrees centigrade, then it could be used for generation of the electricity. Roughly 2/3 underground water estimated to be in moderate temperature, and that is 150 to 200 degrees centigrade. In order to utilize the hydrothermal energy, wells are drilled into the hydrothermal reservoir, and this high temperature water or steam is extracted, and then it is used for generation of the electricity. So this is the brief introduction about hydrothermal source. Now, when we categorize hydrothermal source, then depending upon the temperature, it could be defined as vapor dominated, liquid dominated, and hot water resources. That means hydrothermal resources which we are discussing, those resources can be of three types. Vapor dominated, that means the hydrothermal resources contains only dry steam. It does not have any amount of water in it. And when we talk liquid dominated, then it is containing some amount of vapor and some amount of water. That means it is mixture of vapor and water. That's why it is written wet steam. And there are other resources where we are having the hot water only. It does not have any amount of steam in it. So underground hydrothermal resources can be categorized in three groups. Vapor dominated, that means dry steam only. Liquid dominated, that means mixture of steam and water, that is wet steam. And third one is hot resource only. Hot water resources only. So these three are the types of hydrothermal resources. Vapor dominated fields deliver steam with little or no water. If it is written dry steam, that means does not have any amount of water, but there are chances that it may have some solid particles in it as it is coming out from the earth surface. That means it may have some solid particles, earth particles on it. So that has to be separated before using that vapor. Vapor dominated fields deliver steam with little or no water, and liquid dominated fields produce a mixture of steam and hot water or hot water only. Okay, so this is also liquid and this is also liquid. This is partially liquid, this is complete liquid. Okay, the system to utilize the energy depends on the type of resource. As we discussed in the last lecture, that geothermal resources are site specific. This cannot be made anywhere. We have to construct or make hydrothermal electricity generation stations only where this hydrothermal or geothermal energy sources are available. Similarly, to utilize those resources, the energy depends on the type of how much energy is being produced. That depends on type of the resource. So dry thermal, first we will discuss dry thermal resources. Such fields occur when the pressure is not much above the atmospheric pressure and the temperature is high. Okay, this is very, very important because pressure is not much in this case, and it has only dry steam and at high temperature. Water boils underground and generates steam at temperature of about 150 degrees centigrade and a pressure of about 7 atm. This is mean standard values of dry steam hydrothermal resources, that is having temperature of the order of 165 degrees centigrade and pressure of 7 atm. These three are the most important dry steam fields where energy is being produced. One is in California, that is Giza region in California. Another is in Italy, that is Lordo, and smaller areas near Lordo in Italy. And third one is fields at Matsukawa in Japan. The dry steam field at Lordo is especially ideal because its well produce virtually pure steam with no water. Though all these resources or fields are considered as dry steam hydrothermal resources, but there are chances that it may have some amount of moisture. But the field available at Lordo is pure dry steam only. It does not contain any amount of water. Now, can you tell me that how energy can be generated using these resources? This resource, dry hydrothermal resource. आप में से बता सकता है कोई स्टीम इसका एनर्जी जनरेशन में कैसे इस्तेमाल होगा? Anyone? है किसी को आइडिया? किसी को आइडिया नहीं है बेटा?
सर स्टीम को डायरेक्ट वेल से सप्लाई या जो अंडरग्राउंड है वहां से सप्लाई करेंगे।
बिल्कुल सही।
मतलब
देखो क्या है, हम लोग जब काम वर्क करते हैं तो उस केस में क्या काम किया जाता है कि हम पहले स्टीम प्रोड्यूस करते हैं। इन नॉर्मल थर्मल पावर प्लांट यूटिलाइज वाटर, it is supplied to the boiler for generation of the steam, and then that high pressure and temperature steam is supplied to the turbine for generation of the electricity. So in this case, dry steam is directly available from the underground resources, that is hydrothermal system. We tap that steam, in some case we purify it, and then we supply it for the generation of the electricity to the turbine. So similar concept is utilized in this case also. ठीक है ना? आ रहा बात में समझ आ रही नहीं आ रही है? सेम यही चीज अपन इस फिगर को देख लेते हैं। देखो क्या है, दिस इज द प्रोडक्शन वेल which is drilled into the earth for taking out this hydrothermal source, that is dry steam. It is taken to a centrifugal separator where solid suspended particles are separated out from it, and dry steam is supplied to the steam turbine for generation of the electricity. If it there are chances that it may contain some non-condensable gases. So this steam, these non-condensable gases are separated out by using the steam jet ejector. Once the steam has worked onto the turbine and it has produced sufficient amount of energy, then it is taken to the condenser, where it is condensed using water which is supplied to this cooling tower. And it is said that these condensers are of direct contact type. That means cooling water coming out from this cooling tower is mixed with that low pressure, low temperature steam which enters through this turbine. So it is converted into condensate, and it is cooled again and supplied to this cooling tower. Excess amount of water. Actually, we are supplying water from this cooling tower in the condenser, and steam is in direct contact with this cooling water. So there may be excess water available in this condenser. So this excess water will be supplied to the underground. It will be re-injected into the earth. So this is the simple cycle which we have studied already, and in this way we are able to generate electricity from this source, dry steam hydrothermal system. So I think it should be clear to you now. ठीक है ना? कोई दिक्कत तो नहीं यहाँ पे? समझ में आ गया बेटा आप लोगों को? हाँ या ना? Anyone? पल्लव, ओंकार?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, आगे चलते हैं। Now, as shown in figure, this is the description of the previous figure which was given on this slide. So in this figure, steam is extracted from the well, cleaned in a centrifugal separator to remove solid matter, and then piped directly to a turbine. The exhaust steam of the turbine is condensed in a direct contact condenser, in which the steam is condensed by direct contact with cooling water. The resulting warm water is circulated and cooled in a cooling tower and returned to the condenser. The condensation of steam continuously increases the volume of cooling water in the condenser. Excess water is re-injected at some distance deep into the ground. The non-condensable gases are removed from condenser by steam jet ejection. So this is the figure which we were discussing. And it is the description of the same. Now, since the operation of dry steam hydrothermal resource is similar to conventional thermal power plant, but there lies some differences between the operation of these two. So there are some differences between dry steam hydrothermal system and conventional thermal power plant. First one is the temperature and pressure in dry steam hydrothermal power plants are much less. So जैसा अपन ने पहले देखा था, it is just 165 degrees centigrade and 780 m. This is the parameter of steam which is supplied for electricity generation. Its temperature is of the order of 165 degrees centigrade and pressure 780 m only. Whereas in conventional thermal power plant, the steam having temperature of the order of 540 degrees centigrade and very high 160 atm is utilized for extracting energy. So this is the first difference between dry steam hydrothermal system versus conventional thermal power plant. The efficiency of this plant is much less. It is around 15% only. This is only because of this. ठीक है ना, क्योंकि इस पावर जनरेशन काफी कम होता है क्योंकि इसके पैरामीटर्स काफी कम है. ठीक है ना. On the other hand, the thermal power plant, conventional thermal power plant has steam at very high pressure, high temperature. That's why it is higher efficiency or energy content available in it. Okay. In conventional thermal power plants, a surface cooling condenser is used, as the condensed system is to be used as boiler feed water, and therefore condensate and feed water are not allowed to mix. ठीक है. इसके ठीक पहले हमने क्या देखा था कि in dry steam hydrothermal power plant there is we use direct contact type condenser for mixing of steam coming out of the turbine and cooling water coming out from the cooling tower. तो वहां पे direct contact surface डायरेक्ट कॉन्टेक्ट कूलिंग कंडेंसर इस्तेमाल होता है, लेकिन कन्वेंशनल थर्मल पावर प्लांट में सरफेस कूलिंग कंडेंसर इस्तेमाल होता है. ठीक है ना. इन हाइड्रोथर्मल सिस्टम steam is continuously supplied by the resource, which allows more simple and efficient direct contact condensing. So this is third difference. Fourth is hydrothermal system produces their own cooling water, whereas in conventional thermal power plant makeup cooling water is required from an external source. जैसा अपन ने पहले फिगर में देखा था कि जो वाटर होता है हम कहाँ से सप्लाई करते हैं, कूलिंग टावर से सप्लाई करते हैं. वो मिक्स होता है किसके साथ में, स्टीम के साथ में, डायरेक्ट मिक्सिंग होती है वहां पे. तो वार्म वाटर ज्यादा क्वांटिटी में अवेलेबल हो जाता है. दैट्स व्हाई इट इज रिटन दैट हाइड्रोथर्मल सिस्टम प्रोड्यूस देयर ओन कूलिंग वाटर. Fifth difference is in case of conventional thermal power plant, the steam is not mixed with the non-condensable gases which are to be removed from the condenser. So this is another difference. So these are some of the different important difference are these two, because they are difference in the temperature and pressure of the steam which is supplied into dry steam hydrothermal power plant and the temperature and pressure of the steam which is supplied to the conventional thermal power plant. Second one is the difference in efficiency. It is having low efficiency in comparison to conventional thermal power plant. ठीक है ना. यहाँ पे सिर्फ 15% है, but in case of this conventional thermal power plant, it is as high as 40%. Okay. So next, so this was the discussion about dry steam hydrothermal system. We have already seen that another system or resource utilized for generation of energy in this case is liquid type. So again, liquid dominated or wet steam fields can be classified in two ways. One is having this difference is this classification is based on the temperature only. In one case, the temperature is more than 175 degrees centigrade. In another case, it is less than this. So there are resources available in the earth at some places in some sites where temperature of wet steam fields is above 175 degrees centigrade. And so it is termed as high temperature liquid dominated or wet steam fields. When its temperature or temperature of the steam and water available in that case is less than 175 degrees centigrade, then it is known as low temperature wet steam field. So there will be marginal difference in the energy generation technology in these two cases. So we discussed this liquid dominated high temperature system. In such system, the water temperature is above 175 degrees centigrade. So it is written as water, but as I told you that it is wet steam. That means it contains some amount of steam also. So that is under high pressure and remains in liquid state. When water is brought to the surface and pressure is reduced, rapid boiling occurs and it flashes into steam and hot water. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट सेंटेंस होता है समझने के लिए कि यहाँ पे हाई प्रेशर पे है, इसका टेम्परेचर भी ज्यादा है, लेकिन जब हम बाहर लेके आते हैं उसको तो फ्लैश होने का मतलब अपने आप ही बॉयल होता है, किसमें, स्टीम में और हॉट वाटर में. The steam is separated and used to generate electrical power in the usual manner. जो इसके ठीक पहले अपन ने देखा था उस सिस्टम को अपन वैसे ही इस्तेमाल कर लेते हैं. द रिमेनिंग highly saline hot water known as brine can be used for direct heat and then is re-injected into the ground. ठीक है ना. ठीक. The most developed such system is found at the Wairaki fields in New Zealand, where the reservoir temperature and pressure are 230 degrees centigrade and 40 atm respectively. And these fields are available on the depth of 600 meter to 1.4 kilometer. Okay. So there is not much difference in the operation of the power plant. There is difference only in the conditions of the wet steam which is available in liquid dominated case. In this case, we see the figure. There is one difference. In previous case, in the case of dry steam system, the steam after cleaning in a separator was directly supplied to the turbine. But in this case, since it is contains some amount of moisture in it, because it is wet steam, so it is supplied to the this flash separator, where pressure is reduced. So due to reduction pressure, it converted into the dry steam. ठीक है ना. जैसे हमने कहाँ पे देखा था, in case of ocean thermal system. In ocean thermal system, this flash separator are used, and उस केस में क्या होता है, वहां पे जो अवेलेबल वाटर होता है वो किस में कन्वर्ट होता है, स्टीम में कन्वर्ट होता है. सो सिमिलर कॉन्सेप्ट इज यूटिलाइज हियर आल्सो. वेपर is supplied to this turbine for generation of the power, and liquid water is supplied to or injected into the ground. Because it is hot brine, it can be used for heating purpose, and then it is re-injected into the ground. So rest of the concept remains the same. There is one difference only in case of dry steam and liquid steam. That in case of liquid steam, we use this flash separator, where we supply this hot water, mixture of hot water and steam, where it's these two, vapor and liquid, are separated out, and we supply this vapor for generation of the steam into this system, for generation of electricity into the system turbine in usual manner, as in case of dry steam or conventional thermal power plant. So this is the only difference. समझ में आया डिफरेंस क्या होता है यहाँ पे बेटा? आप लोगों को कोई डाउट हो तो आप पूछ सकते हो यहाँ पे, अदरवाइज इट इज सेल्फ एक्सप्लेनेटरी. हमने क्या किया है, यहाँ से अवेलेबल जो वेट स्टीम है उस वेट स्टीम को सप्लाई किया है कहाँ पे, इस फ्लैश सेपरेटर में. फ्लैश सेपरेटर में क्या है, प्रेशर कम करते हैं, उससे क्या होता है, यहाँ पे अवेलेबल जो मिक्सचर है वो जल्दी से स्टीम में कन्वर्ट होता है. स्टीम इज सप्लाई टू दिस टर्बाइन, and hot water, since it is having salt, high content of saltiness, so it is considered as hot brine, that is supplied for direct heating purpose, and then it is re-injected into the ground. और बाकी की प्रोसेस आपकी एज इट इज ये चलती रहती है. यहाँ पे जो कंडेंसर इस्तेमाल होता है दैट इज डायरेक्ट कॉन्टैक्ट टाइप. जो अपन ने डिफरेंस अभी देखा था कि इन केस ऑफ कन्वेंशनल थर्मल पावर प्लांट वी यूज सरफेस कंडेंसर or indirect type condenser, where steam does not comes in contact with this water, because that steam, ठीक है, जब यहाँ पे कंडेंस हो जाती है तो उसको हम रीसप्लाई कर देते हैं कहाँ पे, बॉयलर में एज ए फीड वाटर. लेकिन यहाँ पे हम क्या करते हैं, इट इज दिस स्टीम इज अलाउड टू मिक्स्ड विद दिस कूलिंग वाटर अवेलेबल फ्रॉम दिस कूलिंग टावर, ठीक है ना, एंड देन इट इज रीसप्लाइड. इससे हम यहाँ से ले लेते हैं और उसको फिर से रीसप्लाई कर देते हैं. एक्सेस वाटर को हम कहाँ भेजते रहते हैं, अंडरग्राउंड करते रहते हैं. There are two kinds of system. One is single flash and this is double flash. यहाँ पे आपको सिर्फ एक डिफरेंस देखने को मिलेगा कि in dual flash system the steam is flashed a second time from remaining hot fluid of the first stage, separated and fed into dual inlet turbine. ठीक है. यहाँ पे हमने क्या किया, इस प्रोडक्शन वेल से अवेलेबल वेट स्टीम को लिया, यहाँ पे फ्लैश किया, जितनी अमाउंट स्टीम यहाँ से निकली उसको हमने सप्लाई किया टरबाइन में, ठीक है ना, और अवेलेबल जो सेलाइन वाटर है या ब्राइन है उसको हम दोबारा सप्लाई करते हैं फिर से दूसरे फ्लैश सेपरेटर में, और उसका प्रेशर और कम कर देते हैं, जिससे कि उसमें अवेलेबल जो स्टीम है वो और ज़्यादा मिल जाती है। और उसको या तो यहाँ पे सिस्टम क्या होगा, ये we are using two turbines here in this case. One may be considered as high pressure and is considered as low pressure, as it is written here. So this is high pressure turbine where steam at high pressure received from this first flash separator is supplied, and the steam received from this second flash separator is supplied to this low pressure turbine. These are coupled and these two turbines generate electricity, and remaining cycle, the rest of the cycle is सेम। ठीक है ना, तो यहाँ पे सिर्फ एक ही डिफरेंस आता है, सिंगल फ्लैश सिस्टम एंड इन केस ऑफ डबल फ्लैश सिस्टम। सो फार वी हैव डिस्कस्ड two forms of hydrothermal system for generation of electricity. First was dry steam, second was wet steam or liquid. Okay, now third one is hot water. Hydrothermal reservoirs of low to moderate temperature 20 degrees centigrade to 150 degrees centigrade can be used to provide direct heat for residential and industrial uses. ठीक है ना, यदि टेम्परेचर कम होता है तो उस केस में हम क्या कर सकते हैं, उसका डायरेक्ट यूज कर सकते हैं। कैन बी यूज फॉर इंडस्ट्रियल पर्पसेस, इट कैन बी यूज फॉर रेसिडेंशियल पर्पस फॉर स्पेस हीटिंग। द हीटेड फ्लूइड ट्रांसपोर्ट heat to the place of use. The hot water is brought to the surface where a heat exchanger system transfers its heat to another fluid. The geothermal fluid is re-injected into the ground after the extraction of heat. The energy of hot water resource can also be utilized in a hybrid steam system consisting of a geothermal conventional thermal system. In this system, a hot water resource is used to preheat feed air for combustion. ठीक है ना, क्या लिखा हुआ है, hot water is being utilized for preheating the air for combustion. जैसे अपन प्रीहीटर इस्तेमाल करते हैं उसमें ये वाटर यहाँ पे इस्तेमाल किया जा सकता है। जियोथर्मल heat replaces some or all of the feed water heaters depending upon its temperature. This is one example. A 30 megawatt geothermal wood-based hybrid plant is in operation at Honey Lake, California since 1989. So we have discussed three kind of sources: dry steam, wet steam, and hot water. Now, if you have any doubt, then you can unmute yourself and ask the question. कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है तो मेरी तरफ से लेक्चर कंप्लीट होता है। एंड वी हैव डिस्कस्ड geothermal resources. We will try to solve one numerical on Monday. कल आपकी जो क्लास रहेगी उसमें पर यूनिट 4 का यूनिट टेस्ट करेंगे, ठीक है ना। कोई क्वेश्चन हो तो आप अनम्यूट करके पूछ सकते हैं, अदरवाइज मैं यहाँ पे इसको बंद करता हूँ।